by Eddie Singh, and today we are going to discuss some important points of the lesson Glimpses of India, Part 1, A Baker from Goa. You may ask, what is your name?
Prasun.
Prasun, you may ask, sir, give us the central point of the story, Glimpses of India, particularly A Baker from Goa.
So give us the central
Yes.
of the poem.
This is a story that originates from Goa. This is story which originates from Goa, particularly the village life of Goa. Traditionally, bread making has existed right from the time of Portuguese. Ask sir why?
Why, sir?
Because during the time when Portuguese came to India, actually, baking of bread became traditional, affair in the villages of Goa. Villages of
Goa.
Though the Portuguese were the lovers of bread, though they left Goa, am I right? Yet the baking of bread, the business of baking of bread still exists in Goa. Though they have left, the lovers of bread have left Goa, yet the tradition, the profession of making bread still exists in Goa. Now you ask, sir, give us some, the link of the narrator's idea of why the narrator has given the highlight in the glimpses of India. This chapter has been included in the glimpse of India. Why? What is the reason for that?
What is the
Actually, the narrator wants to highlight some traditional, profession of the people of India. That once a profession becomes a tradition in a state or in a country, it remains forever. Remains for example, the author remembers the childhood days when the baker used to be their friend. The author is referring in this chapter his childhood days when a baker used to be their friend. He used to come to the narrator's house twice a day. Ask when, sir?
So when?
First in the morning to deliver the bread, and second in the evening after finishing his job of selling the bread. He was so close to their family that he used to come twice a day. He used to come twice a day. The narrator also explains the tradition of baking bread, that he gives an example that the jingling of the bamboo stick, while baking the bread, the sound of the jingling of the bamboo stick, third sound of the jingling stick awoke the children. They were sleeping, they all got up, and then they rushed to the bread making center, and they went there to see what was happening. It was so popular that time that the children awaited eagerly for the bread delivers, and when the bread were delivers, they called particularly the bread delivers boss came to the house. They called the lady, they greeted the lady by saying good morning, and they handed over the pieces of bread to the servant, they wish the lady good morning, but they deliver this bread to the servant. Now you ask, sir, why was it important? Bread making was so important in Goa as a traditional, profession. Ask, sir, why? Actually, the people of Goa were so much fond of bread that bread became a part of every ceremony of their life. Whatever may be the ceremony, it might be a Christmas holiday, it might be a Christmas celebration, it might be a marriage celebration. No marriage celebration was complete without bread. So bread became, bread became a part of their celebration in Goa. Am I right? Even at the time of the Christmas, in the New Year's Day, they celebrated the Christmas day with bread, a special bread. It was called ball bread. What was it called?
Ball bread.
Now the various kinds of bread were very important for all occasions. No marriage was said to be complete without ball bread. They all loved the kind of bread they ate, and the lady of the house, on the occasion of their daughter's marriage, would prepare sandwiches. What did they prepare? The lady of the house prepared sandwiches. And then, the bolhinis, they were also a kind of a special bread. Say like that. The lady of the house
Lady
at
of
the
the
time of the marriage engagement
At the time
prepared a special bread
prepared us
and sandwiches.
and
And
sandwiches.
these, I mean, bowl hints were served to the guests, served to the
Yes.
even at the time of Christmas. Say that at the time of Christmas,
At the time of the
a special kind of bread
a special kind of
called
called
bowl in hands
bowling hand
were served to the friends and relatives. Friends and
relatives.
then now you ask, sir, some of the questions, and you ask, or I will ask you, what were the elders in Goa nostalgic about? Obviously, the elders in Goa were nostalgic about bread. Say like that. The elders in Goa
Elders
were nostalgic about bread. What were they nostalgic about? Tell me.
bread.
They always loved good quality of bread. Good quality of
Bread.
the people in Goa, the elders in Goa loved, pieces of bread, loaves of bread. Say like that. The elders in Goa
Elders in Goa
in the days of Portuguese
days of our
loved bread.
loved bread.
And they especially loved the loaves of bread. Loaves of bread. The writer says that the eaters of the loaves have left India, but the profession still exists. Am I right? The traditional profession of baking bread in Goa is still popular, though, say like that, the traditional baking of bread
The traditional baking of bread
is still existing in Goa,
still exists.
though the lovers of bread
The lovers of
have
bread
left Goa.
have left
Question number 2, it is for again you, both of you. What is the baker's called? What do we call the bakers?
Molders.
No,
Bread
they are
maker.
called pader. They are PADR. Say like that. The bakers were called
The bakers were called
paders.
paders.
PADERS. Paders in Goa. What were the bakers called? Paders. 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 Next question. When would the baker come every day? In the morning and in the evening. She said that the baker would come twice a day.
The baker would come twice a day.
In the morning, early in the morning,
Early in the morning
and in the second time
and in the second
when they
time,
returned after selling the bread.
bread.
Particularly this kind of bread sellers used to come to those houses who were very friendly, who were very.
Friendly.
The children would run to meet him as they wanted to have bread bangle. Acha, what was the eagerness of the children? What do they like? They like bread bangle. See, a bangle shaped bread. Say like that. The children love to eat
Love to eat
bread bangle.
bread.
So whenever they saw the baker coming to the villages, the children rushed to them, just asking for bread bangle. Asking for. Two more questions. Who invites the? No, not invites. This is a small one. Just a small one. Very small questions. I think you can tell it about. Yes. Just a small question. Yes. I'm reading a line. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. But we would not give up. We would climb a bench or the, parapet and peep into the basket. Yes, please. Who are we here? The children. We are the children. Why would they peep into the basket?
Because they want the bread.
They were greedy of those bread
Bread
bangles.
bangles.
Bread bangles. Very good. So the children, say like that. The children
The children
wanted
wanted
to get the
to get the
bread bangle.
bread
So
bangle.
they would peep into the basket. Am I right? Acha, tell me, the breads were delivered to the elders or to the children? To the elders, particularly the servants. Say like that. The breads were delivered to the elders or the servant.
or the servant.
Am I right? Okay. What does the word rebuke means? Rebuke, R-E-B-U-K-E. Rebuke means scold.
School.
Even after the children were scolded by the elders, they didn't give up. They kept on looking into the basket. Looking into the
Basket.
what was the purpose? Why did they peep into the basket? Because they wanted some pieces of bread. Say like that.
To
They
eat
wanted
with
some
hot tea.
pieces of bread. Am I right? Okay. Last question of the day. Tell me. What did the baker do first once he reached a house? Whenever a baker reached the house, what did he do? First he greeted. Celebrate. Whenever a baker
Whenever a
would
baker
reach the house,
reach in
he
house,
would greet the lady,
good morning.
good morning. He would greet the lady, good morning,
Good morning.
saying good morning, saying
Good
good
morning.
morning. He would then place the basket on the vertical bamboo and deliver the loaves to the servant. Whom did he deliver the loaves?
Servant.
The servant. First he will greet the lady of the house and then saying good morning, and then he would keep the bread basket on the bamboo stick, and with the help of with the hands he took out the bread and delivered to the servant. Whom did he deliver the bread? To the
Servant.
servant. And then last what he will say, why the kids would be pushed aside and a number of children would gather there. Tell me the reason why the children gathered there.
Because
Just
of
to-
bread
just to
bangle.
ask for bread bangle. Bread.
Bangle.
Achha, even after they were scolded and kept aside, did they give up? No,
No,
they
sir.
kept on asking for bread bangles. One last question. How did the baker make his entry? कैसे वो अपना entry करता था? बोलिए. The baker used to enter with the jingling sound.
Jingling,
Which
jingling.
sound? Tell me.
Jingling sound.
बोलिए. The baker
The baker
used to enter
used to enter
with the jingling sound
with a jingling
of
sound.
his especially made bamboo stick. Staff means stick. बोलिए. The baker
The baker
used to enter
used to enter
with a jingling sound,
with a jingling sound.
and then at one hand, tell me, at one hand
At one hand,
he supported the basket
he supported
with the
basket.
bamboo stick. On the other hand, he made a sound. He made a
Sound.
jingling sound to call the landlady, to call the owner of the house, owner of the,
House.
particularly the ladies, particularly the.
Yeah.
It was like a musical entry. Say like that. The entrance of the baker
The entrance of the baker
was more like
was more
a
like
musical entry
a musical entry
rather than
rather than
anything else.
anything else.
Thanks a lot. I'm sure you had got some ideas. Have you got some ideas?
Yes, yes.
Thanks a lot.